Warning. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use, for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
In this crooked game of power politics here in America, the Negro, namely the race problem, integration, civil rights issue, are all nothing but tools used by the whites who call themselves liberals against another group of whites who call themselves conservatives, either to get into power or to retain power. Among whites here in America, the political teams are no longer divided into Democrats and Republicans. The whites who are now struggling for control of the American political throne are divided into liberal and conservative camps. The white liberals from both parties cross party lines to work together toward the same goal, and white conservatives from both parties do likewise. The white liberal differs from the white conservative only in one way. The liberal is more deceitful, more hypocritical than the conservative. Both want power, but the white liberal is the one who has perfected the art of posing as the Negro's friend and benefactor. And by winning the friendship and support of the Negro, the white liberal is able to use the Negro as a pawn or a weapon in this political football game that is constantly raging between the white liberals and the white conservatives.
What it do, family and friends? Welcome back to the Church of Black Power. If you're not subscribed, go ahead, hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell so you can be notified whenever videos like this drop. Please make sure you hit that like and share button so we can beat up the algorithm. Make sure we get this message out to the ears that need to hear. And if you have not done so yet, please click that link in the description. Go to change.org and put your signature on the petition for reparations. And with that being said, family, before we get started today and we get into the topic of today, a few days ago, our good brother Malcolm Jamal Warner passed away, unfortunately. And, you know, there's a lot of sketchy situations around it, though it just doesn't sound kosher. It just doesn't sound kosher. But I'm not here to, you know, bring forth any conspiracy theories or anything like that. I'm just saying that it just didn't sound right to me when I heard that. I was highly surprised. So, you know, in the wake of our brother's, you know, passing, unfortunate passing at that, I want to play this clip before we get started and get into the topic of today. So let's go here, family.
I look forward to looking back on a very happy life and a very successful career.
Malcolm Jamal Warner, star of The Cosby Show, has died. He was only 54. According to TMZ, the actor died in an accidental drowning. People reports it was on a family vacation in Costa Rica. Details beyond that are scarce.
Dad, I won't be doing anything at my prom tonight that you won't be doing at yours.
Don't forget, I'm married to my prom date.
Gotcha, Dad. I guess they liked what I did.
He was Emmy nominated for his work on the classic NBC sitcom and worked steadily since it wrapped in 1992, most recently with an arc on 911.
Looks like he's found a great life for himself. We're talking about an industry where working actors have a 94% rejection rate.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so you're talking every time you go into an audition, you know that 90% of the times you don't book the job based on something that has nothing to do with your work. But at the same time, you have to come in and bring your A game every single time.
He's survived by his wife and daughter, though he worked hard to keep their identities private.
You know, I mean, we're all good. We're the best that we could possibly be. So we're all in a really good place. There's still so much to be grateful for.
Family, with that being said, RIP to our brother Malcolm Jamal Warner. And here's a salute to him. All right, family. So, with that being said, family, let's get into the topic of today. But before we start, you know I can't do nothing without giving a shout out to the family who's here. So let me go ahead and do that first and foremost. First and foremost, a B1 salute shalom to our sister Miss Nisi, Hurricane Nisi in the building. Aquarius minded, much love to you, my sister. Patricia A. Jones, much love to you, my sister. Black are you, thank you for being here, family. Let's see here. Kira Clark, much love to you, my sister. Thank you for being here. Shalom to you. Tatum Man, shalom to you, family. Hurricane IQ, shalom to you, family. Thank you for being here. You, thank you for being here, family. Shalom to you as well. Cooking with Miss D, shalom to you, family. Thank you for being here, my sister. Let's see here. Sherelle, my sister Sherelle is in the building. Much love to you. Thank you for being here, family. Our sister Mia Kim is in the building. Shalom and salute to you, family. Our sister Anita Harrell is in the building. Shalom and salute to you, family. LaShawn Kit is in the building. Shalom and salute to you, family. Hey, Miguel. Why don't you take our balls out of your mouth, Miguel? Why are you so mad at FBAs, Miguel? Is it because we're something that you can never be, Miguel? Is it because your people got no sway, Miguel? Why are you here today, Miguel? You want to be in black folks' business, Miguel? Well, unfortunately, I'm going to go ahead and get you the hell up out of here, Miguel. All right, now back to it. Sharon Thompson, thank you for being here, my sister. Shalom to you. Shalom also to our brother Still Kevin Trees is in the building. Shalom and salute to you, family. And this, hopefully I ain't miss nobody. Dealing with Miguel. A real man will call himself Mikael, but anyway, I digress. And salute and shalom to BG. Thank you all for being here today. Thank you for everybody who's not in the chat, and thank you for everybody who's going to be in the replay gang later. So, family, we got to talk about the Democrats. We got to talk about the Democrats because right now their approval rating is as low as it has ever been. And you can see what's happening in the DNC right now is a clear-cut issue of no leadership. It's like throwing a party without a host. There is like no building for this party. It's just wild and free. It's everywhere. You got some people speaking on one side, and then you got other people contradicting what other folks are saying on the other side. But the one thing that we all know, and the one thing that is very clear, is that none of them is moving the black grassroots, which means none of them is doing the job that they're paid to do. Family, there we go. There we go. Had to come back to the stage. Family, I want to show you some of the nonsense because they really don't have any talking points. You know what they thought that they was going to put on us? Messaging. They don't have any messaging. And right now, they're trying to get everybody in an uproar about Donald Trump and his policies and the big new bill and all that other stuff. That horrible bill that it is. But anyway, they're trying their hardest to make people care about that bill, but people in the black grassroots were really not giving a F about that bill. We're not giving a F about what they have to say about that bill, because we already understand 100% fold that these folks, they really don't care about what's in that bill the same way they didn't care about the bill that the infrastructure bill that Joe Biden put forth. But the thing is, it's all about optics. It's all about how we can make the other side look when it comes to that bill. Let's go here, family. And while I play this, I will let my dog in the house.
Listen, just the context for those who are keeping score, there is already an exemption. It's 250,000 for individuals. It's 500,000 for 500,000 for couples, which covers 90% of Americans. However, I do think that Stephen. No.
Let's make sure that people are successful get punished in America.
I'm trying to have a serious conversation.
Well, I'm being very
You don't think the rich have gotten enough raise from this administration? No tax on tips expires. No tax on overtime expires. It's all means testing. But the tax breaks for the rich, the tax breaks for the rich, those are permanent.
You mean the people that work like hell to become wealthy?
The group that gets rewarded the most in this country are the rich. And you're talking about they're not punished. You guys are doing real well. You talk about on this show on a regular basis, okay?
I want to beat them up.
How many cookies do you want from this
Don't you
administration?
ever try and get rich in America again.
Oh my God! Imagine thinking the rich in America are the victims.
What Anna's talking about, I think, is worthy of bringing to the table because the promises that are being made to the working class, no tax on tips, it's capped out at $25,000 a year, no tax on overtime, capped out at $12,500 a year, no tax on Social Security, not at all what is actually in the bill. It only applies to about half of Americans, and the maximum annual deduction is $6,000. So it seems like for the working class people, there is a limit to how much the government is going to work for them. No limit, though, for the wealthy.
Wait a minute, I'm glad.
Thank you, my sister Mia Kim. I am so I apologize for that. I don't know why the mic got turned off, but thank you, Mia Kim. Basically, family, you're hearing here this argument that really matters not to foundational Black Americans. It doesn't. You know, the no tax on tips argument, they're trying to make the situation look bad, which it really isn't nothing. It's an okay burger, but for some people who's working overtime, they're trying to find little holes to make people fall into line when it comes to the Democratic Party. But to be honest with you, having Kevin O'Leary there, all that does right there is it's just proven the point that it's just scammers versus scammers at this point. That's what Kevin O'Leary is to me. Kevin O'Leary is a scammer to me. So when I see him on these news broadcasts, these programs, and they're having these back and forth with someone who's a scammer to me, oh, this whole situation is a scam tactic, period. And y'all really don't have nothing engaging. This is just time filler when it comes to us. That's what it is. This is time filler because you have nothing engaging to talk about to get foundational Black Americans back on board. And you have nobody you can send out to get foundational Black Americans back on board. That's the crazy part about it, that they're really figuring out that no matter who they're sending out, no matter what they're saying, it's not working. And all it's doing is garnering backlash. That's all that's happening here. So they tried to go to their go-tos to see how down bad the Democratic Party actually is when it comes to talking points and the people they send out to talk to them, to speak for them. Salute to BG. Thank you for being here, family, as well as AB. Thank you for being here, family. Shalom to you, as well as DL. Shalom to you, family. Thank you for being here. And a big salute to our sister Mia Kim. Thank you for your Cash App donation. Your donation is blessed tenfold, and I appreciate your contribution, my sister. So they're trying to figure out where they really stand. So they got these Democratic shills who used to have some sort of sway in the Black community. They're sprinkling them out little by little. They're letting them go out, and they're trying to, in my opinion, have a dumbass off. Who can say the most dumb stuff in the party? Who can go out there and show that the party really isn't for the base in which they're trying to pull back onto the plantation? So I know you all heard about Barack Obama going on Michelle Obama's show with her brother and saying some interesting choice of words, to say the least. Let's go there, family. Let's go there. Let's get into what Obama had to say when it came down to Black men and Black boys more specifically.
And that's one of the things that I think a lot of times boys need is not just exposure to one guy.
Mm-hmm. One dad.
No matter how good the dad
is. He can't be everything.
He can't be everything. And then that boy may need somebody to give the boy some perspective on the dad.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
One of the most valuable things I learned as a guy was I had a gay professor in college at a time when openly gay folks still weren't out of line, who became one of my favorite professors and was a great guy and would call me out when I started saying stuff that was ignorant. You need that to show empathy and kindness. And by the way, you need that person in your friend group so that if you then have a boy who's gay or non-binary or what have you, they have somebody that they can go, okay, I'm not alone in this.
Internalize the flatulation of the matter by transmitting the effervescence of the Indonesian proximity in order to further segregate the crux of my venereal infection.
Oh, family. If you ain't never seen somebody creep out the closet, you just saw it right here today. Tiptoed his way right on out the closet, didn't he? Salute to DL. Yeah, the first gay president. Family, we haven't forgotten. We haven't forgotten. This is Obama. This is Obama. This is Obama. Let's talk about some of the things that he did, because we're going to go back over that. We're going to take that piece by piece. But I just want to remind you of some of the things that he passed while in office to lead him to say some of the things that he said here. So in one of my broadcasts, I spoke to you guys about David Geffen and how him and Bill Clinton were good buddies, and David Geffen was, sponsoring Bill Clinton, and basically Bill Clinton was David Geffen's side chick. Let's put it like that. And David Geffen wanted Bill Clinton to remove the stipulations on gays in the military. Bill Clinton didn't do so. He ended up settling on something called Don't Ask, Don't Tell. That infuriated David Geffen. allegedly, let's just say allegedly, okay? This is all a story. That infuriated Devin Geffen, in which he then went and hand selected a man by the name of Barack Obama, a senator in which nobody really was looking at, nobody was really rocking with, to be honest with you. And then he gives Obama a call and say, hey, you're going to be the president of the United States. This is according to Obama's words. And he ended up becoming the president of the United States. And so one of the first things that Obama did when he became president of the United States was signed a repeal. He signed the repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell, which ended the policy that Barry was barring, openly gay, lesbians, bisexuals, or whatnot in the military. That was one of the first things that he did as soon as he came in office. Then he refused to defend the sanctity of marriage, that says, men and women are, that's a marriage. He opened that up, which, to be honest with you, I didn't really care about because, if you want to get married, don't get married. I don't care as long as you don't bring that nonsense to the children. That's just what it is. Salute to Taste of Teas with Tony. Thank you for being here, my sister. Much love to you. Also, our brother Marvin C is in the building. Shalom and salute to you, family. Yep, BG coming right on up out of the closet. Coming right up out of the closet. But let's continue, shall we? Let me go ahead and put your comments on the screen here. All right, so when he opened up the floodgates for gay marriage, that was another thing, okay? He had to file, during that time, he was filing amethyst briefs where he was basically supporting the same-sex marriage and all that other stuff. That was his whole take on it. You want to go check those out, you can go do that. But at the executive order level, right, the administrative policies, right, he created a bill or a federal executive order that basically it was banning LGBTQ discrimination in federal contracts. We didn't get none of that. He didn't sign one for Black Americans, an executive order that was banning foundational Black American discrimination in federal contracts. No, but he did for LGBTQ. He expanded hospital visitation rights for them in 2010. Let's be very clear about that. He recognized same-sex marriages for federal benefits. So if all you had to do was be gay and get married, and you would qualify for federal benefits. He allowed transgender individuals to update their passports. Saying that they're a woman instead of being the actual man that, their birth certificate actually said. Instead of following the birth certificate, he allowed them to update their passports. He sent out a guidance to any school that was receiving federal funds that said, that basically gave guidelines on transgender student rights. And some people be like, well, what's wrong with all of these things? If he felt that that was necessary, nothing's really wrong with those things in the sense of, okay, these things need to be done for this community. My thing is this: why the hell are you so able to give all these executive orders for a group of people due to their sexuality rather than a group of people who has been tortured in this country due to their race, something they cannot control? That's my biggest issue with this. Shalom and salute to Uncensored Truth and our brother Ayo in the building. Much love to you. Now, there was also a lot of symbolic acts. You know, when he used the LGBTQ lights on the White House. Yeah. Some might say back then he was being very openly hand wavy, jazz hands. Family, this man has shown himself to actually be what they called him in the Newsweek and the New Yorker, the first gay president. And I'm totally okay with that. But then when you try to come and act like you were the first black president and wag your finger at black Americans, foundational black Americans to be more specific, you goddamn tether, then you know I have a problem with it, and there's going to be a tether that needs some of this. But knowing Obama, he might like that. So we might hold off on that. But let's get back over here. Let me pull this down. Let's get back over here and go through this piece by piece now that we didn't went through all the little things that he had no problems doing for the LGBTQ, ABC, 1, 2, 3, do, re, mi. Salute Denise Soul. Thank you for being here. Shalom to you, my sister.
That's one of the things that I think a lot of times boys need is not just exposure to one guy.
Mm-hmm. One dad.
One dad. No matter how good the dad
is. He can't be
everything. He can't be everything.
Okay, let's start there, family. Shalom and salute to our sister Star Child. Much love to you, family. Let's start here. Number one, I didn't just have my dad in my life. I had my grandfather in my life. I had my uncles in my life. I had my big brothers in my life. So for this man to say, you need more than your father in your life, many of us have more than our fathers in our lives. Salute to Brooklyn, G baby. Thank you for being here. Shalom to you. Many of us not only have more of, male influences in our lives in our direct family, but we have male influences in our lives just on the average day going to school, like your football coach, your basketball coach, some teachers. For Obama to say this and try to make it seem like, well, your dad can't be everything. Everything that my dad could not be, I had very strong black male figures who could be. Now, it may not have been my dad directly. However, my grandfather was just as good. As a matter of fact, my dad is my dad, but I call my grandfather my dad because my grandfather, was more of my disciplinary during the time that my father wasn't around. When my grandfather, let's not say wasn't around because my dad was always around. However, whenever he went away due to some nonsense or something like that, my grandfather was always there. And even when he was there, my grandfather was always there. So my grandfather to me has been the father figure, and my dad has been the father figure. So when my father couldn't be the father figure, guess what? My grandfather was that father figure. Period. My uncles were that father figure. My Uncle Touche, that man, that dude, me and my brothers give that man so much respect, it's ridiculous. Because he was a street dude, but he was a very intelligent street dude. Not just that, he was one of the only people that I've ever seen do push-ups in a handstand. So, like, these were people that I've had in my life. So I know that there's other people who've had the same. And for Obama to try to make it seem like, well, your dad can't be everything. Okay, cool. Your dad can't be everything. A lot of people look at their fathers as supermen. Same way that they look at their mothers. But everybody knows when when dad can't be there, Paul is. Uncle is. My big brothers are. As much as me and my big brothers fought all the damn time, let something pop off, we out there. So the fact that he was already trying to gear up this notion of, well, your father can't be the only male in your life, while negating all the other males that could be in your life, that was strategic. That was very strategic. And I'm pretty sure him and Michelle had a conversation about this before they got up on this podcast.
And then that boy may need somebody to give the boy some perspective on the dad.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
One of the most valuable things I learned as a guy was,
before we get into that next part, I'm gonna run that back a little bit.
One of the most valuable things and then that boy may need somebody to give the boy some perspective on the dad.
Yeah, and that person is called his grandparents. That person is called his mother. That person is called his godparents. Why the hell would you go to some outside entity to get a perspective on your father, especially someone who don't know a damn thing about being a man because of the fact that he's sleeping with other men? Oh, let's go there today, family. Why the hell would I sit there and go talk to someone, go speak to someone about my dad and the way that he's being a man and his version of manhood to someone who don't exhibit manhood? I don't understand that. But that's what he's trying to set up. Salute to Cooking with Miss D. She said when Obama lived in Thailand, his caretaker was trans. He said he loves Shim with all his heart. Oh, man. Oh, man. I did not even know that. I didn't know that. Thank you for bringing me that tidbit of information. Shalom and salute to our brother Rashad Wallace. Thank you for being here, family. He is in the building. But yeah, that's a real weird thing to say. You're going to need somebody's perspective about your dad. Why? He can't tell me about being the dad because he's gay. 9 times out of 10, he won't have children. And even if he does have children and he's gay, you can't tell me about being a dad because we're not in the same damn ballpark. We're not in the same damn situations. You are sleeping with a man and trying to raise children around that. My father is my father sleeping with women, his woman, and navigating manhood and fatherhood around that. These are two different situations and two different scenarios. They can't even be put in the same damn room together. And before anybody from the rainbow community try to come at me and say I'm talking hate speech, facts are facts. Facts are facts. Whenever you go to let's say a family counselor, one of the things that they will tell you is a good father knows that he cannot be a good mother, and a good mother knows that she cannot be a good father. Now, y'all don't have to like it, but that's the facts. So if you think that I'm saying no gay person can raise children, that's not what I'm saying. But when we're in a situation when we're analyzing this, we have to tell the truth. There are exemptions for every situation. However, I'm going to take this for what it is and what it actually is, what it appears to be. Excuse me. Two different situations that no one should be actually intermingling. That's one. Two, there should be no. Okay, I'm jumping ahead of myself. Let's go here. Go back.
Right? Yeah. One of the most valuable things I learned as a guy was I had a gay professor in college at a time when openly gay folks still weren't out of line, who became one of my favorite professors and was a great guy and would call me out when I started saying stuff that was ignorant. You need that to show empathy and kindness. And by the way, you need that person in your friend group so that if you then have a boy who's gay or non-binary or what have you, they have somebody that they can go, okay, I'm not alone in this.
Family.
And
let me be very clear about this. I'm be very clear. I don't find it appropriate for any teacher, professor, or anything of the sort to be bringing their sexuality into the classroom. I don't have to know any of that at all. Now, let me make sure that this is very clear. Salute to our brother Archie Thomas. Thank you for being here, family. Let me make this very clear. I don't dislike people because of their sexuality. That's a choice that you have. That's a choice that you made. One of my favorite cousins growing up, he was a gay man. This is before it was popular to be gay. It's my cousin Tony. My cousin Tony could fight his ass off. He was one of those masculine gay men. And even my cousin Tony didn't let children around him all the time. He didn't try to give no advice to children about dating. He didn't try to do none of that. Because my cousin Tony, whenever we asked him a question, he would always say, go ask your parents. That's it. Go ask your parents. And that's what my cousin Tony was supposed to do. I didn't even know my cousin Tony was gay until I was much older when my grandmother told me, oh yeah, you know, Tony went out with his boyfriend. I'm like, boyfriend? I'm like, since when is this happening? And she's like, oh, you just never paid attention. And then I started having flashbacks. He used to wear the little slick perm to the back, and he used to comb it back like he was in a goddamn boy band, man. And I was one of the 5 Heartbeats, Eddie Kane style. And I was like, good gracious, it's all started coming back to me. I never knew about it. But back then, it wasn't popular for anyone to just be putting your business out there, especially the children. Especially the children. So when I look at teachers who are paid to do a job, not paid to present an ideology, your job is to prepare these students to take that damn test so that they can get their damn diploma and graduate and elevate and go to a higher level within college or whatever, or even, you know, go start a business, whatever the situation. Your job is to help prepare them for that. Your job is not, and I repeat, your job is not to go into a classroom and make everything about your sexuality. It's not. And I don't even understand when it became okay, because we've never gave an okay to that. Well, we do we do know when it became okay. We already went over Obama's executive orders, as well as all the things that Joe Biden was doing. We know when it became okay. But in the Black community, it's never been that. Now, we're not going to hold your sexuality against you, but you don't come around here talking that nonsense to children. And even at the college level, that should not be a point of contention when you're teaching whatsoever. If a person wants you to be their mentor, they're going to want you to be their mentor purely off of the knowledge that you have and the way that you present yourself. You shouldn't be telling people to go out and select people because they have a sexual preference. That's one. Number two, you're acting as if people don't have good parents that taught them good and basic manners. You're acting as if people don't have parents who taught them good and basic manners. What do I mean by that? I mean this. When it comes to foundational Black Americans specifically, we are raised with some of our mannerisms need to be studied. Because we're sent out into a world and we're taught to say, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. We're taught not to speak back and forth with adults, to stay out of adults' business. When you eat with your mouth closed. You make sure you finish one portion before you move on to the next portion. You don't just clown people just to be doing it. Now, it's one thing if you're playing the dozens and you in a circle, a snapping match. That's one thing. But you're not just going to go around clowning people because they ain't got the new shoes or because they're wearing dirty clothes or something like that. Now, you might tell them that they stink. But that's going to be after a lot is built up within you. Look, the kids, they'll come out and tell you. But you're not going to just say any old thing to adults. Now, children are also naturally inquisitive. So, of course, they would ask about certain things. But it's your job as an adult to curve some of those questions like my cousin Tony used to do. Go and ask your parents. So the fact that this man is speaking as if our parents didn't teach us to have empathy for other people, you can see the agenda that's being pushed. Salute Corey Hall. Thank you for being here, family. You can see the agenda that's being pushed. And others can see the agenda that's being pushed. So, as we come out and call out these folks for their agenda pushing ways, for their propaganda pushing ways, you got some moist characters defending Obama for what he said because, they're moist and he was talking good about the moist community. Let's go here, family. Salute to our brother Black Truth United. Thank you for your Cashapp donation, family. Your donation is blessed tenfold, and I appreciate your contribution. Let's go here.
Who you lay in bed with does not determine whether or not you can be the role model.
Obama never said that to begin with, so she's just making shit up now.
I had a gay professor in college at a time when openly gay folks still weren't allowed. who became one of my favorite professors and was a great guy and would call me out when I started saying stuff that was ignorant. You need that to show empathy and kindness. And by the way, you need that person in your friend group so that if you then have a boy who's gay or non-binary or whatever, they have somebody that they can go, okay, I'm not alone in this.
Now listen up. I'm going to use a buzzword, so make sure your ears are open.
I'm going to let this dude continue, but I'm going to speed him up a little bit. And then I'm going to also touch on what he first said when he said Obama didn't say that. He might not have said that directly, but he absolutely said it indirectly. And you end up playing that damn part where he's also stating you need these kind of people in your circle. Why can't you just have honest people in your circle regardless of their sexuality? Why can't you just have somebody in your circle that can call you out no matter what because you trust them, because you know that they're solid? I've had plenty of gay homegirls who love kicking it with me. The dykes used to love me because, you know, I used to do the Lord work. I pull them back to God, you know, because it always, for some reason, we ended up doing something every single time. That's why I had to just give it up, you know, that the Most High used me for certain purposes sometimes. But the dyke women used to love kicking it with me because I was very cool. I didn't really try going after them and nothing like that. That's actually what made them go after me. But my point is this. I had them around because I rocked with them, not because their sexuality. The same way that I have male friends and I don't give a damn what their sexuality is because I don't ask them about their sexuality. To be 100 with you, I do know none of them gay because we all grew up together and they all got wives nowadays and got children and all this other stuff. But still, that's not something that that wasn't a prefix for me to select them as friends. I wasn't going around. I was like, hey man, you a solid dude, man. You loyal. You down for the cause. You got my back when I need you to have my back. But are you gay? I've never not once did that. Because I don't care. If you're solid, you're solid. And if you're somebody that I can trust within this circle because of how solid you've always been around us, then you're solid. But telling a person that you should go find somebody to be in your friend group who's gay so that you can have somebody to hold you accountable, that's nonsense. It's nonsense. You're not going around telling white people to go and find you a black mentor so that you can have empathy when it comes to Black Americans. He didn't say nothing like that. He's not going and telling Ghanaians to go find a Nigerian mentor so that they can have some sort of empathy for Nigerians. Do you get where I'm going, family? This is only something that is targeting, and he is using to target foundational Black American boys and men. That's what this is, family. But let's hear what the moist guy has to say about this situation.
He did say was that it is good for young men to have a mentor who's a part of a marginalized group, and in this case gay, so that you have empathy and kindness towards said group.
Family, he did not say it is good for people to have a mentor who's a part of a marginalized community. Because then all he would have to say is that it's good to have a POC mentor. It's good to have a minority mentor. Why was it so important for him to say gay? Why? because that was the propaganda that he was looking to push. He could have left that out altogether and just said black boys need mentors. But no, he made sure to tell some anecdotal story about a quote-unquote gay professor that held his feet to the fire when nobody else would.
Probably had tens of mentors before he got to college, but they weren't teaching him how to be kind to gay people, which is why.
Why the hell would somebody need you to teach you to be kind to gay people? Gay people are still people. So if you were raised right, you're not just going to go around disrespecting gay people on the willy-nilly fly. No. If you were raised right, you will treat everybody with equal respect that they treat you. To get respect, you got to give respect. And when someone disrespects you, that's when they get disrespected. But this is the logic that they want people using here. This is the level of sassiness they want you to have.
He said ignorant things about gay people, and he didn't know they were wrong until he had a gay mentor. Very simple stuff, guys. Very simple.
So you don't know what kind of things was Obama saying about gay people that he didn't know was wrong until a gay person told him. There's not many gay slurs. And if they are, people don't know what they are like that. There are very small amounts of gay slurs. The loose cigarette, soft booty. I don't know. I can't really think of it. People come up with gay slurs on the slide. But if they're doing that, they're doing it intentionally. Nobody's going around here saying any gay slurs unintentional. That tells me that that's a damn lie coming out of his mouth. That's what it tells me. Somebody's lying to me. Somebody's trying to play with my intelligence by saying that nonsense. Especially if you're a black gay person, I don't care about your sexuality. I care about you being black. I care about the system attacking you because you're black, not because you're gay. Because that's what the system cares about. You being black, not because you're gay. So if a person is going around spewing any type of tropes that is anti-gay or disrespectful to gay, it's intentional. There ain't no way you're going to convince me Obama didn't know about what he was saying until he came across his gay mentor who held his feet to the fire.
Stuff.
It is bewildering to me how many people are now having an aha moment with Obama. He's been pushing that agenda within the black community, within our society, hence why it's so in your face now.
So let me guess, he was straight when he said this, right?
What I believe is that marriage is between a man and a woman.
Their mothers, right?
Oh, no. He wasn't straight when he did that. No. He was lying. Like politicians do. And that's why I went over the things that Obama put into office that he signed through executive order and the things that he supported, like gay marriage, so we wouldn't have any disillusions of who he was while he was in office and the people that he was working for. Right after that, David Geffen got married. Allegedly. Let's continue.
can teach them empathy, compassion. Their fathers can teach them empathy, compassion.
I watched the video like 4 or 5 times and I cannot get what she's saying at all. I don't understand it because she's acting aloof, okay? Nobody's saying that you can't be an uncle, a mom, a father, or whatever and show empathy to your child and teach your child empathy. But the point is that you're teaching them empathy for a select group of people. You might have.
So you're telling me that teaching them empathy for a select group of people isn't good enough? If the children and the people who grow up from their childhood grew up with manners and empathy, what does it matter if they're getting it directly from the gay person? It sounds like to me you're just trying to convince people to insert gayness into their lives in order to get an understanding of gayness. Look, man, gay is gay. I don't need to sit down with the devil to know he's evil. What's wrong with these people? Salute to Archie Thomas. Yes, Geffen Records. That David Geffen. You'll be surprised how much that man has his hands behind the scenes with a lot of presidents and a lot of situations, especially during the Obama years. Let's let him continue.
All the empathy in the world, but if you teach your child to be a bigot towards a certain group of people, sometimes you need someone from that group of people to be a representative to show you, hey, maybe you shouldn't be like that towards us, right? It's different when you have a gay mentor.
Salute to our sister Patricia. Exactly. What else do you want to teach the children? Great question. My question exactly. Being empathetic is good enough. It should be good enough. I should be able to understand that you go through struggles just like everyone else. When you have a problem, I can feel for you because you're going through something that I wouldn't want you to go through. That's being empathetic. Why the hell do I need to send my children around them to learn a different form of empathy? What would be that form that I will have to question? Let's be very clear about that. Same way that these folks are running around here saying this should be okay for these people to read to the children in drag. If you want to read to the children, fine. Why is it so important that you go in front of children dressed in drag? Why are there children at drag events? See, he says that people are acting so obtuse, but all I'm seeing is the obtuseness coming from one side. It makes absolutely no sense. But this is the logic that they want. See, you have to understand. The Democratic Party has realized that black men are not listening to Barack Obama. And if black men aren't listening to Barack Obama and that means that it's going to trickle down to black young boys. So now they don't want black men to be black men. Well, they never did. They want black men to be black women and black girls. That's why they're always trying to put a man behind a woman. That's why they're always trying to put a transgender or a gay person to the front of the line. These are the people that they want you to be led by. So in order to be led by these people, they have to make you, one, hyper emotional. And then two, they have to make you comfortable with letting these people lead. That's what it really is. And in order to be comfortable with letting these people lead, you have to be indoctrinated to believe that they're not going to lead any differently than a person who is straight would. There's only one person that I can give full credence to in saying that he didn't lead any differently than a straight man. And you know what? I'll just play him. I ain't even gonna. Let's just play him. 1 second here. 1 second. Gotta find it. I don't know where it went. Okay, so I'm just gonna say him. Is that it? No. Anyway, James Baldwin. James Baldwin is the only person who led no differently than a straight man would. You know why? Because James Baldwin never put his sexuality before his race. Not never. And these people are wanting us to put their sexuality before our race.
Or a gay teacher or a gay friend versus somebody telling you to be empathetic towards everyone else except for this group over here. I don't understand what is so like confusing about this. I don't get it.
You guys can check it out on Michelle's podcast.
We have to put the cherry on top of the anti-blackness. Just call Michelle a man, stick it in the front and the back like a sandwich. I love sandwiches.
Anti-blackness? Nah, that wasn't anti-black. It was said by a black woman. Not to say black women or black men can't be anti-black. It didn't have nothing to do with her blackness whatsoever. Now she clearly misgendered Michelle, but some people feel that Michelle is Michael and Michael is Michelle, and it is what it is. I can't be mad at the woman for how she ended a situation. That's on her. That's her business. You can call her out for that, misgendering. But don't try to make it seem like it was anti-black. That's not what it was at all. But family, we can't just leave it on the non-logical responses. We got to get to some of these logical responses because you know how the family get down. You know how the family gets down. Let's go here.
I had a gay professor at a time when openly gay folks still weren't outlawed. Who became one of my favorite professors and was a great guy and would call me out when I started saying stuff that was ignorant. You need.
Salute to our sister Andrea Jones in the building. Much love to you, family. Thank you for being here. And a salute and shalom to our family. Big Black God, thank you for your Cashapp donation, family. Your donation is blessed tenfold, and I appreciate your contribution tenfold.
To show empathy and kindness.
Was that part of the curriculum? I don't agree with teachers and professors bringing their personal life into the job. Obviously, college, I wouldn't go as far as say that's like mental grooming on a non-essay level, obviously. It also depends on what was said, right? Because there's a difference between being ignorant or just saying something that doesn't agree with their way of life. There's a complete difference. And in 2025, they made that line very blurry. It's almost as if you're not allowed to have your own opinions anymore. I'm not going to lie. I never expected to see this come out of Obama's mouth. But young man, please, you don't got to listen to this. You don't.
My brother, if you didn't expect to see this come out of Obama's mouth, you just hadn't watched any of the years Obama was in office, the full 8 years. This was one of the number one things that I anticipated coming out of Obama's mouth. Pause. Matter of fact.
That was crazy.
For sure.
I don't even know what to say.
If you didn't think Obama was going to come out acting like this, you didn't pay any attention.
don't have to go find no gay mentor to learn empathy. Just because they lay down with meat does not give them more empathy than anybody else. Nor do you need to hang around with them for you to have empathy for them. That makes no sense. Just be a good person. Don't put yourself above anybody else. Don't use hate speech. Don't call anybody any derogatory terms. It's common sense stuff. You don't need to go seek out a gay mentor, bro. You don't gotta do that.
Family, didn't I just say that? Common freaking sense. If you were raised right, you don't even care. It's common sense. I'm going to treat you like a human being if you treat me like a human being. We might even become very close because we treat each other like human damn beings. I'm not going to go and seek somebody just so I can learn how to treat somebody such as yourself as a human being. That makes absolutely no damn sense. Let's go here, family.
I'm gonna try to be fast. It's not trending anymore, but there was this video of Obama, Barack Hussein Obama. He's on Michelle's podcast, which is probably boring. That's why I hear about it. The podcast is boring, and they're getting to this discussion about how.
Before we let him continue, family, I haven't heard anything about Michelle's podcast. I don't see promotions. I don't see nothing to show that they're even successful. The same thing that happened with Tiffany Cross Eyes and Angela Cry and Andrew Gillum or whatever with their Native Lands podcast. You see clips from it, but you never see anybody talking about how good it was or anything like that.
This male or black males, young black males should have gay mentors and such, because he had a gay mentor when he was a youngster, and he speak about that's the only way you can understand the gay perspective of a gay man is to have a gay mentor when you're growing up, so you can be informed and stuff. And it's please go away.
Yeah, brother, Angela Cry, because that woman literally, in a break of a second, she'll break out crying no matter what it's about. She could be happy. She could be mad. This woman seriously has emotional control issues. She might be bipolar. I'm going to be honest with you. But yeah, that's all she does. When she's mad, she cries. That's her go. Exactly. That's her go-to. Is crying. Crying. She cried for weeks after the election. All over the place. Why don't bury Kenya and tell them they need gay mentors? Because if Obama went over there saying that, 9 times out of 10 he get called out. The same way that they were calling out who was it during Obama's time, because they was calling him out then, where he was going to Africa and trying to promote that gay agenda, the ABC agenda. So yeah, I know, and over there it's going to be louder. He got a lot of cover over here. He ain't got that much cover in Kenya. Let's go here, family.
Y'all hear that foolishness that y'all's former president Obama said that young boys need gay mentorship, even if they have a dad in their home or a dad in their life? Am I the only one that sees that there is an agenda being pushed against the Black community? Barack and Michelle Obama allegedly have a strong marriage. They've been married almost 30 years. Yet she goes on her platform and she shoots down marriage to Taraji P. Henson, if you guys saw that episode. And then Obama just recently said boys need a gay mentor in their life. The Black community is already fractured and broken. We do not have a nuclear family standard within the Black community. That's why
I have to disagree with her there. Yeah, I just don't agree with that. I don't like when people say we don't have a nuclear family structure in our community, and that's not true. A lot of us do have the nuclear family, whether they're the parents are married or not. Uh, the mother and father are in both children's lives. Like that's just what it is, you know. And I don't like when people do that. It gives this misconception. It's like saying black men don't marry black women, even though black men marry black women overall. Like at every level of business, right? No matter where you're at in your profession, whether you're a doctor, whether you're an entertainer, black men marry black women at an 86% rate. And then the remaining rate is either people who marry outside of their race or people who don't qualify to get married. So children under 18 and things like that. But when you look at the statistics about black marriage, black men marry black women overwhelmingly higher at a higher percentage than any other group of people marry within their group beyond white people. So it goes white folks and then it goes black folk. So I hate when people use these narratives to make a point when that point basically it diminishes your point by using that narrative. That's how I feel about it. But you guys let me know in the comment section if you feel the same way.
Powers that be, whoever they are, use these black knuckleheads to further undermine the black family. And I said it.
And family, we're getting to a point where people such as this, who's calling out the black community, but they're not delineating or at disaggregating the black tether from the actual black community, that does us a disservice too. That does us a whole disservice. A lot of folks don't want to be quote unquote divisive, but you're being divisive by now saying they're using the dummies in the black community rather than calling it for what the hell it actually is. They're using tethers to further propaganda to the black community. Salute and shalom to our brother Bernice Brass. Thank you for being here, family. Okay, that's that. Let's go here, family.
Obama tripping, man. Ain't no way he just sat up on that podcast with Michelle Obama, his wife, and said that he think every little boy needs a rainbow male role model. I don't even know what I can say on TikTok to even reference that community because it's so crazy. Like they get wild when you talk about that shit. So he was up there just saying that he believes that every one little boys don't need just one perspective or version of a male, of a man. Like what? Yes, that's all they need, bro, is one real perspective of a real man. That's what's wrong with the little boys now. You know what I'm saying? They grow up and they see somebody in the family, you know what I'm saying, being a little twinkle toe, and then they want to follow in those footsteps because they hanging around them and they playing with them. No, you need to go play with the boys. That's why when we was growing up and we was kids and shit, our parents and shit ain't let us play with the girl toys and the doll babies and all that shit. Nowadays, the parents ain't that. They say it's just a toy.
Family, what this man's saying is 100% real. Let me tell you something. I used to like wrestling. Well, I still like wrestling, but you know, back in the day, I used to love wrestling to the point where I had the action figures, I had the wrestling ring, I had the little the Titantron, so you know you can walk through, stick the feet on the certain metal brackets, and then it started playing the wrestlers' music. I had it all. My grandfather almost threw all that stuff away because he thought they were dolls. My grandfather did not take action figures lightly. G.I. Joes, all that stuff. He would say, God dang it, he thought those were dolls. It just going into a toy box and seeing a bunch of G.I. Joes and wrestling figures and thinking that they're dolls, getting ready to throw away hundreds of dollars of toys that I purchased myself mind you. I purchased all these toys myself. And my grandfather looked at those things as action figures. Me, my brother, my dad, and my grandmother had to make him aware that even though they're made from the same plastic, they're not the same things. And my grandfather, he was funny as hell. He's still funny as hell. But he say things like this. Well, if they're playing with one doll, it's only a matter of time before they're playing with another doll, and that doll is going to have hair on his head, slickling down his back. Barbie. And we had to convince our grandfather that, Grandpa, that doesn't, no. If we're playing with Barbie, it's because I don't have a girl in this wrestling ring, so now I'm having these two girls wrestle in the ring. This is a match. If we pulling out the Barbies, this is a wrestling match, Paw. Right? And my sisters used to hate that we used to take their dolls and use them for wrestling matches too. But I digress. This is 100% true. It's 100% true.
You molding that boy in his mind to think that it's okay to do little girl things. And once he think that's okay, he start hanging around the girls, picking up their mannerisms and their attitude, and they rolling their eyes. He gonna end up being that way, without even know you molding him to be that way. By exactly what Obama talking about, just by being around that, by a straight boy being around a quote, whatever you want to call them, adult male, he's going to naturally look up to the older person that he's around.
Another great damn point. And I gotta use another story out my childhood. So I have a little brother. And when my little brother and my little sisters are, I don't know, I want to say 6-7 years apart from me. So I was an older brother trying to keep my little brother from following all the girls. Like, I had the 3 sisters that was there, as well as all our girl cousins that would come over all the time and kick it with our little sisters and whatnot. And my little brother, because he was more comfortable with my sisters, he would try and go and follow around that girl group. And me and my older brother used to pull this dude all the damn time, even though he was like 5-6 years old. We used to pull him all the time because we understood if he's always around them girls, he's going to start doing what these girls do. Playing with dolls, dancing like a girl, speaking like a girl, taking on their mannerisms. So whenever we saw that, we would grab our little brother and start punching on him, wrestling with him, giving him some of that, male attention. And a lot of the times he'd cry because he wanted to be with the girls. I tell you, to this day, my little brother is one of the most hardcore little dudes because he's short, but he'll throw them hands into quickness. One of the most hardcore little dudes with a tiny complex that you'll come across. And I love my little dude. And he loves me and he loves us. And he's appreciative because he could have turned out very soft. He could have turned out one of those type of dudes that don't like dudes at all, don't like being around men, that only want to be around women. And don't get me wrong, I love to be around women. I love to be around women. But not in a way that is going to kind of counteract what I act like. The mannerisms that I use. That's what us as brothers was supposed to do. And also what our father instructed us to do. My grandfather instructed us to do. We wasn't like just going around all willy-nilly trying to be all around women. If our grandfather saw us around women and it wasn't in a manner where we're trying to get at them type stuff, he'd be like, y'all get your asses up out of here with them girls. Go outside to go be boys some damn where. Go get a football. Go get that football out the back of the shed and toss that football around. Stop being a goddamn, get out of here. And if we took too long, he'll take off one of his slippers and just toss it. and somebody's getting hit. He ain't never missed a toss slipper. I said, get your asses out of here now. That's the type of male love I grew up around. Now, some people might take it and say, oh, he threw shoes at you. Yeah, and it made me who I am today. I'm so proud to have the male figures that I've had in my life. Now, I might not run around here doing the same thing to children younger than me, but maybe I should, because, you know, children has gotten real soft nowadays. Let's just be real. Exactly, my brother Black or you. Tough love. And it was always needed to remind us that, hey, you guys are men. You guys are boys. And when you go out into this world, you're going to be attacked as men, as boys. So you're going to have to know how to defend yourself and protect yourself. You can't be all sissified trying to fight a system that has spent decades upon decades catering a proper way to make sure you're the target. But I digress. I just had to throw that in there.
So if he's a male and he see him acting that type of way, I'm a 90%, 99% certain that little boy will be raised up to be exactly what that male adult is that Obama think little boys should be exposed to. Come on, bro. That ain't it. And I be saying, if you look on TikTok, Barack Obama and Michelle, something about Michelle ain't a woman. I don't know how true that is and all that, but without him saying that, something going on. He talking about in college, he had a twinkle toe male professor, and he grew a close relationship with him. So that's why he think what he just said and shit.
Salute to our brother Still Kevin Trees. Grandpa said you either gonna cook or gonna bake. You ain't gonna do both. Hey, salute. Hey, I'll be honest with you, family. I'm a chef now, and I don't bake. I just don't. It's not my thing. Let me cook. I will cook like a mug. But when it comes to baking and all that other stuff, I leave that to my sisters. They make the sweets, the cupcakes, the baking, and all that other stuff. I leave that to my sisters. I'm the chef around this piece. But let's go here, family. Let's go here.
And the fact that Barack Obama got his funky ass, and yes, I said it, up on Michelle's podcast and said every young boy needs a gay man in his life. What in the hell is going on in 2025? I mean, we all knew, you know, he was mostly pushing for that community when he was in office. I mean, I was like too young to really even understand or give a damn what was going on in politics, but being more aware and having a fully developed brain, like, why are you pushing that so bad? Children don't need that. Children need a mother and a father that's in the home, or if the parents are co-parenting, they need adequate time with both parents.
Salute to Andrea Jones. She says, I was a tomboy because I was between two boys, but that... thank God I grew out of it fast. I'm gonna be honest with you, my sister. I am more inclined to allow the little sisters around the brothers than I am to have the little brothers around the sisters, because the truth of the matter is, having that tomboyish situation, that's a good thing in my eyes, in a lot of fathers' eyes. Because one, you're going to learn how to defend yourself. You're also going to learn all the game. So ain't nobody going to come at you with no weirdness, thinking that they could just say any old thing. You're going to be as sharp or keen. You're going to know when dudes are cheating, because all those things you picked up from being around your brothers, you know. And also, you're going to be a bad mama jamma, because, you know, tom girls, tomboys, they like to dress like dudes, but when they dress like women, oh, y'all are unmatched. I am not going to lie. Let me just put that into the air. Let me just put that out there. Salute to Toria Reigns. The sister has the 60s do. Yeah, she does. This sister right here, she always have her hair laid the hell out. I ain't gonna lie. She's a bad mama jamma when it comes to that. I'll give that to her. Oh,
They
yeah.
need tutors so they can learn how to read and write. They need to learn how to properly wash their ass. They need to learn emotional regulation because a lot of these kids is running around. I don't know what's going on. It's a lot of psychosis going on out here. But the fact that you're saying that they need to have a gay man in their life, and why a gay man in particular? Why not a lesbian? I don't like that. Something ain't right in the water. That's rubbing me all types of wrong. I don't like that. And this is not to say that there's anything wrong with, people choosing to live, but why are you pushing that specifically? It makes me raise my eyebrows. It's just very odd and very strange. It's relevant to Brooklyn. What y'all think about this? Every young boy needs a gay man in their life. Like what? Bitch, this ain't Rome. What in the hell in the alpha and the motherfucking beta is going on? Check. All right, I'm leaving. It's relevant.
Salute to this sister. I'm absolutely with her. This is not wrong. Because that is some Roman nonsense. You can go and look at depictions of the Romans where they would have these naked boys running around all over the place. When you go to the Vatican, there's freaking statues of naked young boys and all this other stuff. This is exactly the type of Roman nonsense that made sure Rome didn't succeed as a state. Let's put it like that. Salute to Denise Palmer Cockrum. She says Obama was raised by a white woman and his father was his black father was absent. Duh. Yeah, that's true too. But the way that he walks around and acts, one would never think that he was raised by a white woman, right? Yeah. The way that they try to make sure Obama is in the black community and have black culture, going places singing, I'm so in love with you. Doing all that. You would never think that Obama was raised by a white woman. Because ain't nobody, even though people call it out all the time, ain't nobody saying, but that doesn't make him not black. He was raised in black culture, don't you see? He was raised in Chicago, don't you see? And given $100,000 by his grandparents' inheritance. Obama ain't never had a black struggle, nor had a black experience, because he went from being raised by his white mother to being raised by his white grandparents. And then when it came time for college, got $100,000. I digress. Let's go here, family, because shalom and salute to our brother Christopher Ellis. Thank you for being here, family. Much love to you, B1. With this Obama situation, more and more, to be honest with you, more men feel more disrespected than anything. It feels like you're disrespecting our fathers and our grandfathers and our uncles by saying that what they taught us and what we've been taught just wasn't good enough. Just wasn't good enough. And you need to go and seek out somebody who's better than them in that area because he's gay. Yeah, Torian, exactly. If I had a son, he would look like Trayvon. I wonder if that was actually true. I don't know about that. I think he would come out with a lot more fair-skinned. Anyway, I want to get over here to this brother here because, like I said, it seems more of a slight and dig at our parents, our fathers, our grandfathers, our uncles, the men who taught us how to actually be men.
Barack Hussein Obama has lost his mind. I cannot believe he hopped on Michelle Obama's podcast and said that God-forsaken nonsense. And y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Barack Obama said boys don't need just their father in their life as a father figure because he can only be one dad. You need another male in your life to give you perspective on the father. And that male should be a homosexual. And I'm here to tell you right now, my father is in my life. And you know who else I had as a role model outside of my father? I had my granddaddy. You know who else I had as a role model? My great-granddaddy. You know who else I had as a role model? My great-great-granddaddy. You know who else I had as a role model? My uncles. You know who else I had as a role model? My cousins. And this ain't no diss to the community, the LGBTQ community, but this is Barack Obama saying this nonsense. We need more men to be in our kids' lives more than ever, especially within the black community. We need the fathers. How dare he get out there, use the LGBTQ folks as a pawn to be able to spread his nonsense? And that's exactly what that is. It's plenty of role models to be out here to teach the kids. What is a homosexual male going to teach me? What is a homosexual male going to be able to teach some of these boys? They need their father in their lives, and they need to be around some other men that are not homosexual.
That's it. That's all. And the same way that, brother, if you notice, that's the same thing. The first thing that came to my mind, Obama is acting like they're not other male figures, not just in the family, but in black children's lives. Like my coach, my basketball coach, Mr. Finley, was this 7'4" dude who put us through the ringer when it came to hard work and not giving up on ourselves. So that person to me is somebody that I hold in high regard, Mr. Finley. And that person to me gave me something that I was already getting, but just in a different manner. So when he's saying, you know, you need somebody outside of your father so you can get advice on your father. Mr. Finley didn't have to give me advice on my father. I was just able to see the difference in how people respond to each other. So the way my father responded to me in certain ways, they could be teaching the same lesson, but do it in a different manner. And because I'm seeing that lesson, oh, that's what my dad was just teaching me. I'm taking it and internalizing it more because I have somebody else that I trust outside of my father who's teaching the same lesson just in a different way. So when I say there are a lot of people, whether it be friends or a friend of a family member, there are a lot of other people that they can turn to. Why do that person has to be gay? That means that you're trying to teach them something that these other folks who are teaching them, which are the exact same principles and things like that, they're teaching a different principle that isn't included in that. Salute to Miss Nisi. Thank you. Oh, hold up. What's going on? Thank you for your Cash App donation, family. I'm sorry. Super chat donation. I appreciate you. Your contribution is blessed tenfold. Says 2 Timothy 3, chapter 3, 1-9. Who said living this right now? Yep, this is exactly what we're living in. Apostasy. It's exactly what we're living in. I'm sorry, family. Give me 1 second. This screen has started jumping again, so I got to pull this down. Ever since they updated this new StreamYard, it's been giving problems like a mug. Let me pull it back up. All right. I ain't never had issues with the super chats before, but god dang it. Apparently now that's an issue. All right, so family. Wait a second. Okay, there we go. All right, so family, one of the things that these folks are now starting to see, I'm pretty sure that they're starting to see, especially Obama, He's learning what the Nabiscos already know. Salute the Hula Gang. Thank you for being here, family, as well as Ivan. Thank you for being here, family. G Shine. Much love to you. They're learning something that the Nabiscos already know. That the brothers, and no lie, he's going to say that verbatim, the brothers don't listen to Obama. Let's go here.
Democrats spent the last 2 decades calling men toxic and shipping their jobs overseas, and now they're asking, where did all the men go? Obama's trying to save the party he destroyed, so he's on a manhunt. But there's one problem. The brothers don't listen to him anymore, so he's trying to transition boys into girls. Barack's got his own rules for men, but these are the rules that made men leave the party in the first place.
Family, did you hear the way he said it? The brothers don't listen to him anymore. So if the Nabisco in the legacy media knows this, it's the same thing when Roland Martin got laughed at when they said that he had no influence. You should be able, I know that if they know this, you should be able to understand that you don't have any influence anymore. You should be able, yes, Jesse, he's definitely a clown, 100% a clown. Matter of fact, since we brought up clowns, let me just do this so there's no reservations about it.
Send in the clowns.
Because there's a lot of clowns here today. But Jesse's definitely one of them. But if this clown dude, if this Nabisco in the legacy media is saying it out loud, then people in the DNC, oh, you know damn well that they know this too. You know damn well that they're picking up on this as well.
Barry says, guys don't always have to be the providers, as long as they talk about their feelings.
A lot of male identity and status was tied up with being a provider, having a job, doing a good job, coming home. And when folks started losing jobs because of deindustrialization and offshoring, you had a bunch of men suddenly feeling lost because their identity had been so wrapped.
I'm sorry, family. I just got to say this, and hold it against me or don't hold it against me. Michelle Obama's brother, does he or does he not look like somebody who walks the street at night in a wig? It looks like him and Michelle might be sharing dresses. I'm sorry, I digress. I just had to say it. It was just bothering me. It reminds me of Wesley Snipes and Tu Wong Fu, if you will. Salute to Yahweh is true. Thank you for being here, family. Much love to you, family. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is. I heard that he was. But him dressing like this, it just seems unnatural. It just seems unnatural, family. It seems like his more natural state would be in a wig, some red pumps, a flower dress or something like that. Yeah, it just doesn't give, you know what I'm saying, that's who he is.
Up in that one thing, which was being a provider. And so part of what we have to do is, as men take responsibility for figuring out how to talk about and share feelings.
We wouldn't have to talk about our feelings if Obama didn't send our jobs to China. Do you know how we feel about that, by the way? Angry.
Much love to Bernice Brass. Her brother looked like a clown without the makeup. Tell me I'm lying. No, you're absolutely correct, family. Hold on. That's what I think I'm seeing too. Like, you know, if you ever seen Orange is the New Black and you had that trans person Laverne, and then it does like this flashback to before he became trans and it showed him as a dude. This is what I'm seeing here, to be honest with you. Like, if let's just say Michelle was trans, right? It would be looking into a mirror of what she would look like as a dude. Now, I want to make sure I put this on the table. I don't go around saying that Michelle is a man or nothing like that. That's just a take that I'm far away from. But I can say, looking at her brother, that's what she would look like as a dude. If she was to pull a wig off tomorrow, I would be looking at her brother's face. That's how I feel. But family, I don't need to play the rest of that because the whole point it was to show that even the Nabiscos know that Obama don't have any sway. So you know damn well that the goddamn DNC knows that Obama don't have any sway. And you know who else the DNC knows doesn't have any sway? You know her, Mrs. Snuffleupagus herself. Mrs. Snuffleupagus herself. Jasmine Crackhead Crockpot Crockett. So family, Jasmine has been used so much that she's left a bad taste in our mouths. Pause. And it got to the point where you had a bunch of black women coming out backing up that disdain for her. Salute to T1 Productions. Thank you for being here, family. Shalom to you. So I want to go here because it's kind of a timeline of situations that's happening with Jasmine. Let's go here, family.
Crockett forever somewhere yelling like, girl, shut up. Let them talk. You don't have to yell everywhere you go. We get it. You're black. So annoying.
The most unprofessional U.S. representative in Congress by far. So this ghetto caricature that she and the Democratic Party made up, it's quite fascinating. If you look up Jasmine Crockett prior to being in Congress, entirely different person. She had a different accent. She was calm, collected, respectful, professional. Struggle that Jasmine Crockett is portraying as if she grew up in the hood. She grew up quite privileged, actually. So she attended Mary Institute in St. Louis Country Day School. This private prep school cost $35,000 a year to attend. She also attended Rosati Kane, an all-girls Catholic high school, which cost $14,000 a year. Then went on to attend Rhodes College, a private liberal arts college costing $73,000 a year to attend. She was raised by her father, a pastor, and her mother, a stay-at-home mom. Jasmine Crockett has a law degree and she owns her own law firm. And with her net worth, she's making pretty good money. Now, these are all great things, but my point is that I don't see the struggle. I don't see the ghetto accent coming into play. This is identity politics and pandering at its finest. This time around, the Democrats didn't even vote for her. Jasmine Crockett came in last place in 2 elections within the House of Representatives because newsflash, being the loudest person in the room doesn't make you right.
What I find very ironic about all the people in my comments defending Jasmine Crockett is that it's a black girl from the hood in Tampa, Florida that has to tell y'all that that's not the way that we need to be represented. I find that very ironic. I think that what's going on now is that everybody is figuring out that the black Americans that are from these impoverished neighborhoods are not as slow as they think we are, because that is the way that we do not want to be represented. There's not a day living that is how any black person should want to be represented. Y'all are trying to normalize this trash, and y'all are trying to make people who don't want to normalize this trash as if they are being anti-black.
Bullshit that Jasmine Crockett spews every time she gets in front of a mic. It's 2025. I'm quite shocked that you actually still believe this woman. You know she's a pawn, right? Okay, she panders to the low, impoverished black Democrat. You agree with her because you still have a lack mindset. Man, so we ain't never had nothing. We need this woman. She fighting for us. Us black folks ain't got nothing. What has she done as a congresswoman but stall and don't get shit done and interrupt and don't let shit get done? Like, you want to follow behind this? Talk to the people in my community.
Jasmine, what exactly do you mean Trump should have called you before he struck Iran? Who exactly do you think you are, for real? She claims that her intentions are to protect the civil liberties of the underrepresented communities. Oh, and ensure equality for all. My thing is, Ms. Crockett, how can you represent anyone when you have that ratchet behavior? If anything, you're a misrepresentation of the black community with all the insults you spew. And that hood lingo you continue to speak in a professional setting, there's a time and a place for certain behavior, and political events are not the place for that ghetto behavior.
All right, family. So, Crockett, got wind of all these women and all of the sisters who came out, because that was just a small clip of all the different sisters that was coming out holding their feet to the fire. So she got wind of it. And then one of the sisters in the video clip alluded to the next situation. She ended up losing a seat in this committee that she was going towards. Let's go here. Salute to our sister Demetria K.
Representative Jasmine Crockett decides to drop out of the race to become the top Democrat in regards to the House Oversight Committee to see whether or not former President Joe Biden actually had mental decline and whether there was a cover-up or not. She dropped out because her own party, the Democrats, did not vote for her. In fact, she came in last place. So the moral of the story is, when you act like a clown, you get treated like a clown, and nobody is going to let the clown run anything. The only thing the clown is going to be able to do is run around and honk their red nose and entertain people.
That's it. That's all. So with that, that was basically a timeline of some situations. As of recently, Texas has gone through a flood situation that unalived some children in an area here. I'm going to bring up this clip here.
The flood started getting bigger, and it was going up to, we have bunk beds in our cabins, and it was going up to the top bunk, and we had one choice, and we had to just come out of our cabins.
Campers from Camp La Junta lucky to be alive this morning after they say they had to swim out of their cabins during flash floods in Kerr County. That camp just a few miles up the Guadalupe River from Camp Mystic. That's where more than 20 campers are still missing this morning. Thanks for waking up with us on this Saturday, July 5th. I'm Adriana de Alba. We're going to have a look at your holiday weekend forecast in just a moment. But first, we're following the latest updates out of the Texas Hill Country as search efforts continue this morning in those deadly flash floods. This isn't just impacting Kerr County, but other counties near the San Antonio area. This is new video here you're looking at out of Spring Branch, Texas. That's in Comal County. Storms rolled through those areas again around 2 this morning, with more rain expected later today. At last check, more than 230 people in Kerr County have been rescued and evacuated. The death toll is now up to 24. Efforts continued throughout the night to find more than 20 missing girls from Camp Mystic along the Guadalupe River. Those floodwaters rose more than 20 feet in the span of 2 hours. And just before we came on the air, we learned a director for a different camp near the Guadalupe River died in those floods. Heart of the Hills is a girls' camp in Hunt, Texas. They released a statement last night saying their director and co-owner, Jane Ragsdale, did not make it. That camp says it was not in session when the floods began. But other camps were. Texas Governor Greg Abbott and Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick were in Kerrville last night, promising to find every missing person no matter what. One North Texas family says they are lucky to know their child is alive. Our Teresa Woodard spoke to them moments before they left to reunite with her.
And she wasn't even supposed to be at the session.
I spoke with Natalie and Jeff Dunning moments before they left North Texas, not long after they discovered their daughter, a Camp Mystic camp counselor, is safe.
I feel very, very sorry for the parents that don't know yet.
Communication from the Hill Country is hard. They don't yet know what their daughter saw or went through. They only know she was at a place she dearly loves.
She became so close to God, and that's actually where she was baptized, was in Mystic last year.
They call Camp Mystic magical. When you look at pictures the camp previously shared on social media, you see it. And when you look at Hannah Dunning and a camp picture she posted days ago, you feel it. Feel why she stayed an extra session at the very last minute.
She stayed there. God put her there for a reason, like so that she can help.
Help the youngest campers, some still missing. 8-year-old Hadley Hannah of Dallas among them. Her mom gave us this photo, hoping it helps her find Hadley.
We will do everything humanly possible to find your daughter.
After an emotional promise from the state, Texas game wardens posted grainy photos of rescuers reaching Camp Mystic. Some happy reunions seem imminent. The question is, how many?
I think if you're a God-fearing person, like, just please pray these babies will get back to their parents.
Really hoping for more of those miracles and happy reunions, right, Cassie? Truly devastating. And I understand the National Weather Service actually issued the flood watch warning in many of those areas for tonight, right? Bring us up to speed on that.
Yes, so we still have some flood watches in effect for parts of Hill Country right now. So you can see where those flood watches are. There's even a flash flood warning down there as well. That's because we still have the rain that is currently falling. Now, closer to home, we don't have that, but we still have some rain. Here's just some of the rainfall totals that took place so far. In fact, looking at Ingram, 10.33, Kerrville, 3.97, Hunt, 6.55, and some of these areas still receiving that rain. You can see where that flash flood warning is. So we've got a little area spinner, an MCV, and this has been not moving a whole lot. The rain is finally starting to let up a little bit, but they don't need to see any more rain.
All right, family. So that's what was happening. And Jasmine Crockett, she must have been listening to the new black media clown her in that wig, because she went and found her a new hairdresser, ladies and gentlemen. She went and found her a new hairdresser, and that hairdresser got her a brand new wig. So she decided to come out with that brand new wig and make her statements known. Salute to our sister Opal Ivy. Thank you for being here, family. So she got her new wig and got her forehead looking a little bit smaller, not too much smaller, just a little bit though, just a little bit. And the wig is straight this time. It's not crooked. It's not big and messy. It doesn't look like it came from Temu. But the problem then became, instead of giving her condolences to the families that are missing, that have missing children or missing family members, oh no, she tried to politicize it and make it about Trump. Let's go here.
So anyway, I just wanted to jump on because my heart is truly heavy for all of these families. The sad part is,
family, I said it made her head look smaller. I'm sorry. It makes her head looks bigger. Her head looked like a goddamn light bulb. Granted, it's a much better wig than the wig she usually would wear. I give her that much. But now this wig is highlighting that forehead. I'm telling you, she looks like a light bulb. She looks like what is it called? A stick shift gear. You know, the little ball that's on the stick shift, is so when you go ahead and lock it up, put it into the next gear, her head looks like the ball that's on the stick shift. The handle. Anyway, let me run that back and let y'all hear what she had to say.
so anyway, I just wanted to jump on because my heart is truly heavy for all of these families. The sad part is, I think that my heart is going to carry a level of weight that will continue to weigh me down as we have to continue to do our best to survive an administration that literally is against us. An administration that is doing everything, in my mind, to hurt us and not help us. And it feels like we're fending for ourselves. So anyway, I just wanted to.
Okay, family. First and foremost, shout out and salute to King Barry. Thank you for being here, family. Let me just say this. I really don't like the way that these Democrats act as if there was not the same type of administration in just a year ago, just 2 years ago. Have we forgotten? Have we forgotten about all of the places that was hit by a hurricane that FEMA didn't have the money to give them anything? They was giving out $750. Have we forgotten? I haven't forgotten. I know you guys haven't forgotten, but they tend to act as if they've forgotten. Salute Sir Rock Sota. Thank you for being here, family. They act as if Biden's administration was for the people. And only people that Biden's administration was for the illegals, the Ukrainians, Israel. Let's be very clear. But these folks, in their hypocritical nature, love to come out and try to take whatever they can and make it about what's going on in the White House. I don't like it when Democrats do it. I don't like it when Republicans do it. People are hurting, and you're taking their pain and using it for your political gain. So, I want to play this sister who calls out her shenanigans and her chicanery right off the bat.
I'm almost willing to bet that if we follow the money, these people are getting paid. I mean, there is no way that they're not getting paid, you guys. There's no way you can run a campaign of stupid or a campaign of willfully ignorant this long unless you were getting some form of payment for it, some form of incentive, you guys. So by now we know about the Texas floods that occurred over the weekend, and you have the Texas state representative, Jasmine Crockett, who was on video expressing her condolences to the victims, but then turned around and made it political by saying her heart was going to be heavy because we have to survive an administration that does not care about us and who's actually against us. I just have a few questions. Where was your energy at when the previous administration showed us that they didn't give a damn about us? Because the only people they seemed to care about was Ukraine and illegal immigrants. Okay, there were a lot of natural disasters and intentional disasters that happened under that administration, and I didn't hear shit from you on that. Okay, specifically North Carolina, when the hurricanes came through, you had people homeless, living in tents after they lost everything. But that administration, which is representative of the Democrat Party, was too busy providing housing for illegal immigrants. When you had citizens here homeless, and then you want to talk about who somebody don't care? Girl, bye. And before any of y'all black 8%, 92%, whatever you want to call yourself, come on here, oh, you just a hater. She's educated, she's smart. I don't give a damn what she is. If you don't have integrity, you ain't that much.
That's it. And that is all. Salute to that sister right there, because she cooked. If you ain't got integrity, we're looking right through you. If you can't sit here and actually speak for a situation and actually come with some solutions, because let's be honest, you only spoke about this situation because you saw it as a opportunity to take a dig at Donald Trump. Think about how that makes all those parents feel who have missing children right now. While Obama want to run around here talking about we need to have empathy and we need to go and get a gay person to teach us empathy, I'm pretty damn empathetic about this situation right now, knowing that there's people who have missing children. Knowing that there's people that has family members who are missing, family members who was taken by this situation, this hurricane. But yet, we need to go and find a gay person to help us with our empathy. I think Jasmine Crockett may need help with hers. I think the crackhead crockpot needs help with her empathy, because it doesn't seem like she has any there. Absolutely Aquarius minded. She should be a freaking ashamed of herself. My sister Cooking with Miss D says Obama needs therapy. Yeah, he needs therapy, but he might end up sleeping with the therapist. I don't know. I don't know, especially if it's a dude named Marco with a Hispanic accent. Let me stop. All right. Family, it gets worse. It gets worse, though. It gets worse. Yeah, man. Let's just call a spade a spade. Let's just call a spade a spade. Let's just call it a spade. Yeah, and he'll be playing Marco Polo with him too. All in the water, eyes closed. Marco Polo. Oh no, my bad. Let me do it with the accent that he likes. Marco Polo. Polo Holmes. Polo. But like I said, family, it gets worse. Jasmine just don't know when to shut up, because then she saw the situation with, the Epstein and Trump situation, and she was like, "Oh, this is another chance that I get to take a dig at Trump." Let's go here.
Today, Charlie Kirk joined the growing chorus of right-wing podcast bros complaining about Trump's lack of transparency about the Epstein files, just hours after the president called them past supporters and weaklings falling for what he called a Democratic hoax. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, Democrat of Texas, serves on the Judiciary Committee, where Democrats are calling for Attorney General Pam Bondi to testify about Epstein.
And family, they can lay that wig down. They can fix her crooked wig. But they couldn't fix these crazy eyes that this woman be having. This woman looks like she's about to snap. Remember, I told you, one eye looks like it's heavier than the other. It looks like they gave these lashes are just too heavy for her eyes. I hate to say it, Down syndrome eyes. This is all I see when I see this woman. They couldn't do anything for that. I'm happy that she finally got a straight part. I'm happy that they finally laid down the wig. They probably went and got some very expensive horsehair for this. But y'all couldn't fix the eyelashes? You went and got your hair professionally done. You couldn't go and get your makeup professionally done too? I digress, family. Let's go.
He joins me now. Well, Congresswoman, what do you make of all this?
I mean, it's interesting to hear the right explain why it is that they want to hear. I want to hear because clearly you got something to hide, Mr. President. So that's why I want to hear. I want the swamp, right, to be drained. Okay, listen, let me use their language. We know that he had this ongoing relationship with Epstein. They were basically like besties. We know that there are allegations that a lot of the recruitment took place down at Mar-a-Lago. We know that there are even young ladies that said that they were sexually abused and or sexually assaulted. We know that this is someone who has been found liable of sexual abuse by a jury of his peers. So, I mean, this is also a guy who seemingly doesn't really necessarily care if somebody engages in these types of activities. So I know he's got something to hide. That's the only reason it's not out there. If this had anything to do with Democrats, baby, it would have been on day one. That promise would have been fulfilled. But he wanted access to those files and he wanted to see how bad it looked for him. And unfortunately, after having a glimpse, I think he's decided that he just wants to move on and talk about something else.
Now, family. And yes, shalom and salute to our sister Patricia for that. Yeah, one eyelash is heavier than the other, and this is a great representation of it. Now, family, you know damn well, these people don't care nothing about the Epstein files. Because if they could, if Trump was in the Epstein files, she's trying to make it seem like Trump is in the Epstein files. And if he is, it's not to the point where anybody's going to be in trouble. And same thing with some the people in the left, like they're in the files. Okay, cool. But it's nothing to where most of these folks are going to get in trouble because none of them are pursuing it. At this point in time, it's just a pointing fest. Oh, look, he was with Epstein. Oh, look, they were with Epstein. When the Democrats were in office, Trump was saying, release the Epstein files. The Democrats wouldn't do it. Now that Trump's in office, he's doing the same thing. What's the difference? There is no difference. So that teaches you, that shows you that these folks are really just looking to get an aha moment. The little tethered bride of Chucky. Oh, Jesus Christ, family. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I'm telling you, this is a face only a mother can love at this point in time. All right, let's go here, family.
You know, our hearts first off go out to the good people of Texas who are going through a very, very tough time right now. You mentioned that you know your concern is not your district, but you may have some folks who may have been affected by that. You also signed onto a letter demanding oversight on the government's response so far. First off, what are the chances of that happening, being in the minority, right?
Yeah.
But the importance of it, though, still remains that we have to see what the government did here or failed to do in responding to this tragedy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that one of the things that this government hasn't realized, or this administration does not realize, is that we are supposed to be problem solvers. And instead, what they continue to do is they continue to break things and make it more difficult for us to fix problems that people are facing. When it comes to these emergencies like this, and with us entering hurricane season, which will definitely most likely impact Texas, Louisiana, Florida, North Carolina, as we just kind of go up and down the coast, it is important to understand whether or not this iteration of FEMA is actually functioning for the American people. I know that it
Family, hold the horses. Hold the horses.
People know exactly what they're doing until they get exposed.
Family, why didn't anybody care during the time of Biden? Y'all knew about hurricane season and you didn't care whether or not FEMA was working for the American people then. As a matter of fact, FEMA was taking funding from FEMA and giving it to illegals. And then when it came time to use FEMA funding for Americans, they were out of money. They were out of money. So it's very hypocritical to now have a concern of whether or not FEMA is working for the American people when you sat there for 4 years under President Joe Biden, your president, and didn't say a damn thing when it came to that. As a matter of fact, you made excuses. You lied and put cover for the administration every time someone brought up the illegals getting FEMA money. Every time someone brought up what was being done in places like Florida and things like that, where your FEMA agents was walking in a neighborhood, and if it said Trump 2020 in it, they were basically telling people to continue to walk, don't go and check on those people. Picking and choosing who got their FEMA. You didn't have any issue there. You didn't have any issue when people who lost the whole of their homes, all of their property, was given $750 and told to deal with it. All of a sudden, you care about whether FEMA is working for the American people, Jasmine Crockett? This is why these people have no sway. You're untrustworthy. Everything that comes out of your mouth is a contradiction. It is a hypocritical statement of some sort. And you're paid to do so. And you're paid to do so. So you wonder why people in your party didn't vote you into the seat for that committee? Because of things like this. You wonder why people in your party is taking a few steps back away from you? It's because of comments like this. And if you notice, family, she's not acting as ghetto as she used to be, is she? But that's Jasmine Crackhead Crockpot. This last segment, family, we're going to have to do it. We're going to have to do it. We got to talk about Roland Martin. We got to talk about Rolanda. As bad as Jasmine Crockpot is, there's another sassy sissy that we have to deal with, and that's Roland Martin. Let's go here, family. Let's go here. Roland was on his show the other day making a lot of statements that need to be addressed. And so we're going to address them here. Now, we're not going to play through the whole thing. We're only going to cut to the parts where he was running his over blubbered mouth. Let's go.
We walk
We walk through this every single day. And there was a drop off of black voter participation. And then you had a whole bunch of loud, ignorant, dumbass black people who were sitting here on social media, on YouTube, running their mouths, don't vote, tangibles. If they don't give us this, we ain't voting. No, we survived slavery. We survived the last 4 years of Trump. We can survive 4 more years. What these idiots don't understand is that Emil Bove nomination, they are relishing putting Klansmen, white supremacists on the Supreme Court.
So, more fear tactics, huh, Roland? Instead of going after the party, well, you would never go after the party because the party pays you, Roland. But instead of going after the party for not doing anything for foundational Black Americans, not bringing any type of policies that really had any tangible benefits towards us, instead of calling these people out, you want to talk stuff about us for standing on our square and saying, hey, this is a politic game. This is a political game. If you do not do for us, we will not do for you. So by us doing what every other group in America has done and continues to do, you're calling us out because we wasn't scared, because we wasn't fear-mongered into being scared of Trump being in office for 4 more years. And you're pointing the finger and wagging your finger at foundational Black Americans saying, you said no tangible, no voice, and now you got all these people who are relishing putting white supremacists on the goddamn who isn't a white supremacist in that damn group on the Supreme Court? Who isn't working for white supremacy in the Supreme Court? Tell me a name now. It ain't Kentucky Brown Jackson. It's damn sure ain't her. Because we spoke about the Lockheed Martin situation where she literally, all she had to do was sign off on a settlement between Lockheed Martin and the Black employees of Lockheed Martin. All she had to do was sign off on the settlement. The deal was already done, but she took it upon herself to not only strike the goddamn settlement, and she, like I said, she dismissed it without prejudice, which means those same people who fought all that time to get to that settlement point, they could not bring it back up in the courts. Who on the Supreme Court, just name me a name, that sits on the Supreme Court today have ever done anything for foundational Black Americans, specifically to benefit us? Hell, to be honest with you, if this 14th Amendment situation, if they do what's expected of them, this would be the first time that it would be to benefit specifically foundational Black Americans if they rule in the favor of Trump. But what have they done during Biden's era? Salute the DSA 1. Thank you for being here, family. What did they do during Trump's era? Trump's last era, excuse me. Obama's era. So stop trying to scare us with this they just want to put extreme white supremacists on the damn thing. You acting as if we don't have extreme white supremacists and white supremacist adjacent people on the damn Supreme Court right now. Democrats and Republicans. But let's let them continue.
They can't wait to replace Alito and Clarence Thomas with a 45 or 48-year-old federal judge who is going to be so hard right that they so far right they'll be damn near left. These folks, they want to shut it all down. I have consistently said they want to defund Black America. They want to strip everything when it comes to civil rights.
And it's funny that they're only doing it to everyone else, though. Like, you know, y'all talking about stripping everything from civil rights. The things that was stripped from the so-called civil rights that they're speaking about is LGBTQ Obama stuff. Rainbows. Men in the women's bathrooms and things like that. Yeah, no. That's another great point. I was actually going to touch on that too, but I'm glad you touched on it and grabbed it. That way it's a great segue for me. Thank you, my sister Sharon. Defund Black America. When were we ever funded? We have only funded ourselves. We have never been funded by America. America has never given Black Americans anything. We fought for every single thing we've ever gotten here. And funding really has never been one of them. But now that we're fighting for reparations, all of a sudden they want to take all our funding from us. Dude, we're fighting to get the funding that's owed to us from hundreds of years ago. What the hell is this guy talking about? What the hell is this guy talking about? Salute to Faith Speaks Life. Thank you for your Cashapp donation, family. And your donation is blessed tenfold. I appreciate your contribution. We're still fighting for the same damn thing we was fighting for 100 years ago when it comes to funding. But yet they want to take all our funding from us. They want to strip all of our civil rights. Yeah. He really meant his immigrants. Absolutely. Family, let's let this dude continue.
They want to strip economic rights. They want it all.
They want to strip economic rights. What are economic rights, Roland? Do you mean all those laws that we have on the book that is hindering foundational Black Americans, like the banking laws, the housing laws, the employment laws? Because we've been going places and seeing that, you know, these people are only hiring their own people. We've been going places and seeing that they don't want to sell property to foundational Black Americans in certain areas. Yeah. We've been going in and seeing that they don't want to give us loans. They would rather give it to people who are not of this soil. People who are not even citizens to purchase businesses and food trucks and things like that. What are you talking about? Economic rights, sir? Let's let them continue.
They absolutely do. And
all right, like I said, I'm not going to let these folks talk because they're not important at this point in time. I want to get to each time that Roland has something to say.
You know, Reese, and I've seen this in other group chats. Folks like, oh, they're trying to bait us. They're trying to bait us. But you know what? Whether folk want to own it or not, when the Latinos fought back against ICE, oh, people responded.
Family, did he just try to throw an alley-oop to the Latinos? That's interesting. When the Latinos was fighting ICE, people responded. No, people responded because they realized how the police act towards us versus how the police act towards them, and how they're being told to stand down and let people just do any kind of things, and how they were basically told to militarize themselves when it comes to us. That's what set everything off. And that's not a good thing because everybody's able to see now exactly why we shouldn't have been involved in all that other nonsense. But what set it off had nothing to do with that. What set it off is the fact that we saw people in America, and people are seeing non-citizens in America being given special treatment by a government that they did not put in office.
See, we know he wants to invoke the Insurrection Act. We know this. But they also are counting on people being afraid.
So why are you fear-mongering people? If you know that they're counting on people being afraid, why are you consistently running around trying to fear-monger the Black community? Why are you consistently running around trying to point your finger at foundational Black Americans and say, you see, you stupid, dumb Negroes? Y'all put this in office. Y'all giving them exactly what they want. You stupid fools. Why are you doing all this fear-mongering, sir? In The Art of War, it says, I will make my enemy think that I'm near when I'm far and make my enemy think I'm far when I'm near. So if you know what your enemy's goal is, why would you help your enemy in that goal, you simple Simon mother effer, in your words? Salute to the world's best hair braider. World best braider. I don't know if hair just all in there. I just tossed hair in there. But salute to the world best braider. Thank you for being here, family. Much love to you. But this is Roland. This is Roly Poly. This is Rolanda. This is Martina. And look at the smile on his face like he just ate. He's eating. That's the smile that he has on his face when he's sitting in front of a buffet. That's a smile on his face when he turned to the side and think he sees the neck in the mirror. Oh, am I getting my neck back? Hold up. Go Roland. Get your neck back. Let's continue.
They're counting on people being too scared. And if there was ever a moment where they have to be met with massive protests, this is that moment, but it cannot be gathering just for the hell of it.
So he goes right back in order to try to convince us once again, this is our time to protest. The time is now. Now is the time, and we can't do it in empty gestures, but yet you wanted us to vote in empty gestures. We need to stand up. We got to make sure that it is not in vain, but you wanted us to vote in vain. Interesting.
It has to be not, well, we're going to be in this city or we're going to have this protest. No, it has to be a strategic protest that is around voting. See?
So now the protests got to be centered around voting. It's not enough to just be protesting. No. You got to have a protest that's centered around voting, as if we give a damn about people protesting because we didn't vote. These are the people that they're sending out to be the quote unquote messengers. You got Rainbow Obama, Barry O. You got Crackhead Crockpot. And you got Rolanda Roly Poly Martin. All saying a bunch of nonsensical nonsense. All saying a bunch of nonsensical BS. All saying the exact same thing that they have pushed their bases away by saying. Doing the same things over and over and expecting a different result. These people are insane. These people are insane. Salute Donnie Matthews. Thank you for your Cash App donation, family. Your donation is blessed tenfold, and I appreciate your contribution, family. This is what insanity truly is. Doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. No tangibles, no damn vote. And what that's called is getting off the train, getting off the crazy train. The way I see it, the Teslers are scamming the Democrats. Hey, you know what? You got a lot of Nigerians in there, so you might just be right. This is all a scam, just one big old scam that nobody else had saw coming but us. Let me see. He ain't FBA, so Roland will never get it. Yeah, it's not that he'll never get it. He blatantly ignores it. He gets it. He knows he gets it. We know he gets it. But he's paid to act like he doesn't. He's paid to push a narrative. And that's what he does. We seen it with Kamala Harris and her paying him $330,000 or whatnot, which I'm sure is already gone. He spent that whole $330,000 on chicken wings and hog moss. He took the last $20,000 to have find my neck surgery. Anyway, let's continue, family.
You've got mayoral elections in New Orleans in the fall. You've got the Virginia House and Senate race. You have to make them pay politically. And so you must be utilizing protests that, first of all, mobilizes people.
Salute to our brother Black RU Church. You sure he gets it? Oh, I'm absolutely sure he gets it. You know why? Because he has to get it in order to know what to be the opposition to. That's why whenever he starts seeing that his numbers are dwindling, he's not getting anything, all his so-called fans and viewers are going downhill, that's why he starts trying to talk like us. That shows you all these people get it. The only reason why they don't voice that they get it is because they're not paid to voice that they get it. They're paid to be opposition to what they actually get. So yeah, I don't think Roland is a stupid person. No, I don't think he's stupid at all. I think that Roland is a lot of things. I think that he's granular. I think that he's a manipulating fool. I think that he is a gluttonist. I think that he's sassy. I think that he is a cross-dresser from time to time. But the one thing that I don't think that Roland Martin is stupid. I don't think that he's stupid whatsoever. Salute. Salute. I think he's necklace. I think that if you split him in half, there'll be a mini him on the inside that you can also split in half, and there'll be another mini him inside. You know, I forget what those dolls are called. Yeah, there you go. I think he stays hungry. Family. I think all his turtlenecks are chokers. He wears the turtleneck as a choker. He literally just cut the neck and stick it over his head, put it over his neck. Yeah, he's another Stephen A. Smith. I don't think Stephen A. Smith is stupid. I think Stephen A. Smith is a coon. I think that he's a tap dancer. I know that he's a tether. I think that he's willing to do anything for the dollar bill because he said it himself. But stupid, I don't. Many of these people, I don't ever give them the cop-out of saying, I think that they're stupid, because I don't think any of these people are stupid. I think they're being paid to do a job. And that job is getting done. Yeah, you ever heard that saying, I'm not a doctor, but I play one on TV? That's exactly what this is. I'm not stupid, but I play like I am on TV. Let's let them continue, family, because it's about to get interesting.
Then once you mobilize them, you organize them, and now you direct them to a certain thing. But these people cannot believe that they have a free license to do what they're doing.
And which is what? Sitting it out until they get something? That makes no sense. Doing what these people are doing. What are we doing? Standing on FBA business, making sure that the next generation will be taken care of, making sure generations after generations to come won't have to worry about the things that we're dealing with now. What are we doing, Roland? What? Let's let it continue.
They do have a free license to do what they're doing. The debate was November 5th. The fuck? They literally put out a 900-page.
All right. If y'all want to see or listen to his guests, y'all can go back and listen. Like I said, that's not the point of me playing his clips. There's a few more things I want to get to, because family, this is about to get good. Watch this.
When you sit elections out, you get what you get.
And when you sit elections out, they get what they get, which is tossed out of office. When you sit elections out, you get what you get, which is the power to now put somebody else in. The power to now say, if you want my vote, this is what you're going to do. The power to flick your middle finger at anybody who want to fear-monger you because you didn't vote in the way that they wanted you to vote, or you sat it out. That's what you get when you sit out elections. I've mentioned this several times. I mentioned this in my last broadcast when Brandon Dumas made his comment. Voting is an exchange. And sitting out any election is a form of civil engagement. It is a form of civic engagement. You're practicing civic engagement by sitting out the election. Because it's not the fact that we're not engaged. Oh, we're the most engaged people out of any group in this country when it comes to these elections. Because we're the only ones who are actually being ignored when it comes to our demands and the things that we need in our communities in order to get our vote. And by saying, no, we're going to sit this out until you guys take our demands seriously, that is the purest form of civil engagement. Civic engagement, excuse me. Let's be very clear about that. So to all the Democrats sitting in the back, And to all the people who are still just chained to that Democratic Party, to that plantation. Let me say this so that you can understand it. If you come to my store and expect you should be able to take a bag of chips without giving me $1, I'm going to call the police on you. It's basic math. If you come to my store and pick up a $2 can of Bud Light and you do not put $2 on the counter, I'm calling the police on you, my friend. Politics is the same way. But in this instance, the police is the couch. That's it. That's all. The Democratic Party is behind this Africa versus Black American beef due to the I'm trying to give Africa R1. I'm going to be honest with you. I'll say yes on some of that, and I'll say no on some of that. Politically, yes, you see a lot of the Democrats pushing for this nonsense. But outside of the political realm, you have people who are being paid to speak the way that they speak. But you also have people who are just speaking that way because that's how they feel. But let me get a drink of this water and let Roland run his mouth a little bit more because it's getting to the part where I wanted to go.
And for the people who go, oh my God, I didn't think it was going to go this far. I mean, again, you can't say they didn't tell you. They said it. We warned people. Yeah.
Go this far as of what, Roland? Oh my God, I didn't know it was going to go this far. Who have you heard in the new black media or the black grassroots say, guys, I think we've went too far. I think we took it too far. I didn't know it was going to go this far. Or do you hear us celebrating our greatness and celebrating the power that we exhibited? He literally made me drop my water.
Y'all chilling. Y'all know who y'all are. Y'all know. If I had to do a roll call for all them simple Simon Negroes.
Okay, here's the good part. Hold up. Let's go back. Screenshot that, family. Let's go.
People. Yeah, y'all chilling. Y'all know who y'all are. Y'all know. If I had to do a roll call for all them simple Simon Negroes. Yeah. If I had to. Oh, don't get me started. I could run the tables on Vicky Dillard, Boyce Watkins, Tariq Nasheed, Umar Johnson, Philip Scott. Oh yeah, Black Authority. All y'all. Look at them. No, they said it. We warned people. Yeah, y'all chilling. Y'all know who y'all are. Y'all know. If I had to do a roll call for all them simple Simon Negroes. Yeah. If I had to. Oh, don't get me started. I could run the tables on Vicky Dillard, Boyce Watkins, Tariq Nasheed, Umar Johnson, Philip Scott. Oh yeah, Black Authority. All y'all. Look at them, they chilling.
Now, family. Tell me, do you believe that this overweight bowling pin would run rumshot on anybody? Vicky Dillard would murder you. Boyce Watkins, I don't like Boyce whatsoever. I do not like Boyce, and we'll talk about that. I have another broadcast coming up about that. I don't like Boyce, but he would run shot around you. Jason Black, Professor Black Truth, Tariq Nasheed, all these people. Matter of fact, I'm not even going to. You couldn't run. You couldn't do nothing with me. You know how I know you couldn't do nothing with me, Roland Martin? You overweight bowling ball? Because you couldn't do nothing with Richard Spencer.
Identity is at the heart of my ideology. So
what's that identity?
Race is a foundation of that identity, undoubtedly.
Race is simply a creation of mankind. That's a construct. It doesn't exist. I mean, my line is, no, I know who I am. First of all, I'm Roland Martin. I'm a man.
Okay.
I'm a man.
Do you identify as a black man?
Oh, first of all, I identify as a man.
Okay.
Identify as a man. No, actually, it's not sexist because if one person is a woman, identifies as a woman. Okay. So I'm a man. I'm a Christian. Are you a Christian?
I'm a cultural Christian, yeah.
First and foremost, I'm a man. Are you a black man? I'm a man. I'm a man. And then I'm a Christian. Are you a Christian? You're over here trying to find some sort of camaraderie with this dude. And you think you can handle people in the new black media, let alone the anchormen and women? Boyce is not in that. We're going to toss Boyce to the side. But the real ones that you named, you really think in your big, old, shiny, bald, receding hair that you could see any one of us? And you couldn't even hold this dude, this racist piece of crap down? Oh, geez. You're truly, truly living in a delusion, Roland.
As a man.
Okay.
Identify as a man. I identify as a man.
Okay.
Man.
Do you identify as...
I know who I am. First of all, I'm Roland Martin. I'm a man.
Okay.
I'm a man.
Do you identify as a black man?
Oh, first of all, I identify as a man.
Okay.
Identify as a man. No, actually, it's not sexist because if one person is a woman, identifies as a woman. Okay. So I'm a man. I'm a Christian. Are you a Christian?
I'm a cultural Christian, yeah.
What the hell is that?
Well, many of us struggle with faith, but I'm part of a Christian.
Hold on. You can't call yourself. You can't call yourself a cultural Christian and then say I struggle with faith. Have you professed that Jesus Christ is your Lord and Savior?
No,
Who gives a damn? Who cares if this man confessed the Lord Jesus Christ to be his Lord and Savior? This man is an open white supremacist. He's a self-admitted open white supremacist. And you care about what God he gave his life to? I don't even let these folks pray over me because we ain't praying to the same damn God. I'm praying for freedom. He's praying for bondage. And you care about whether or not he's given his life to the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ? But you think you can handle anybody in the new black media? That's laughable. It's laughable. And to show you that it's laughable, Roland don't want it with me. I've only made a few statements about Roland, but what it is, Roland, why am I blocked, Roland? Why am I blocked, Roland? If you think that you can handle anybody in the new black media or the black grassroots in general, why are you blocking people, Roland? I'm proud to be blocked by Roland Martin, though, because I joined a group of people like Tariq Nasheed. I joined a group of people like our brother Black Alpha, like our brother Afro Elite, and many other brothers and sisters who are blocked by this buffoon. And you want to hear something funny, family? this is just it's still pertaining, but it's a little off. How you got John Cena following me. I don't know why, but John Cena is following me while Roland Martin is blocking me. That doesn't sound like somebody that can handle anybody in the new black grassroots, the new black media. Interesting. You got John Cena's in Nabisco following a pro-black channel, but Roly-Poly Martin too scared to even hear from that same channel. Make it make sense. But you can just run circles around Vicky Diller. You can run circles around Jason Black and Professor Black Truth. Notice I didn't even bring up Umar's name. That man isn't even in the conversation. Hell, neither is Boyce Watkins. But still, your words is not matching your actions, Roland. It's just not. And this is why everyone takes you as a damn joke. You're to be laughed at. That's all you are. And that's all of you Democratic shills are. Each and every one of you are jokes. Straight up jokes.
Send in the clowns.
Them laffy daffy clowns. That's all you are. And all you're doing every time you step out and you make these gestures, you make these comments, you say what Roland just said here about how he can take everyone down in the new black media if need be. If he need to do so.
All them simple Simon Negroes? Yeah. If I had to, don't get me started. I could run the tables on Vicky Dillon, Boyce Watkins, Tariq Nasheed, Umar Johnson, Philip Scott. Oh yeah, Black Authority. All y'all. Look at them, they shilling. Hey, look at them, they shilling for the Democrats. They just.
But as soon as people start holding your feet to the fire, you become the block queen. The guy who got his ass handed to him by Richard Spencer thinks that he can actually have a conversation with the real ones. All these people are showing is that they have no sway. They have no sway in the black grassroots. They have no sway in the new black media. He gets so jealous and so mad that the people who do have sway, like your Vicky Dillers, like your Tariq Nasheeds, like your Professor Black Truths, like your Jason Blacks, he's mad he don't have that, and that's why he had to throw their name in there. So with all of his core being, he feels it in his spirit and soul. Because he's envious, ladies and gentlemen. He's envious. He's not jealous. He's envious. I should be in that position. I should have that type of sway. I should be looked at as a Tariq Nasheed. I should be looked at as a Professor Black Truth. I should be the new black media. That's where all this ill will is coming from. This is where all the frustration and sassiness is coming from. The I should be type people. Family, I want you to take a bow, because with every day of delineation that goes by, with every day that we sit on the couch and remind folks why we're sitting on the couch and why we sat on the couch in the last election, with every single day that passes, somebody is coming out day by day and showing the world why we're doing exactly what we're doing. Why we are winning by doing so, and why we're not derailing the train. That's it. That's all. So when you have your Obamas coming out talking about getting gay mentors, when you have your Jasmine Crockett's coming out talking about all the hurricanes and how we really need to keep an eye on FEMA to make sure they're doing everything that they should be doing for the American people, while she sat in office and said nothing while FEMA was taking care of a bunch of illegals. People like Roland Martin, who's mad because he doesn't have the sway that the foundational Black grassroots has, or the new Black media and the anchor men and women of it. All they're doing is showing why no one is taking the DNC serious and why we've been right the whole damn time. So give yourself a pat on the back, family. Us staying on that train is breaking through every stone wall that train come up against. They're building walls every damn day to try to stop this train, but the train is going too damn fast and it's on trajectory. So while we got this train on the trajectory, we're going to make sure that we protect the train at all costs. We're not going to derail the train. We're not going to take a different track. We're going to stay on the track that's been working for us. And if they don't like it, they can continue to kiss our Black ass. Cope and deal with it. But with that being said, family, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell so you can be notified whenever videos like this drop. Please make sure you hit that like and share button so we can beat up the algorithm. Make sure we get this message out to the ears that need to hear. And if you have not done so yet, please click that link in the description. Go to change.org and put your signature on the petition for reparations. Family, the fact that we're not dealing with anybody's shenanigans, everybody's coming to us. Mommy, Daddy, FBA, I need your help. They're being mean to me over there. We're like,
get somebody else to do it.
And every time someone comes and they start saying, well, you FBAs, y'all a bunch of big old meanies because this isn't what Martin Luther King would have wanted and Malcolm X was from Grenada and blah, blah, blah. We sitting there like... That's it. Because as I played before, and I'm going to play once more,
people know exactly what they're doing until they get exposed.
So with that being said, family, it is what it is. You're going to keep seeing different Democrats getting sent out to see if they can get the ear of somebody. But the more and more we sit on that couch, the more and more we call these folks out, the more and more they're going to have to come to terms. And it's very important when everybody continues to bring us their nonsense, we keep one notion in mind.
Yeah, problem. Yeah, that's just not my problem. No.
That's it. And that's all. Because the second you give them just a little bit of your attention, just a little bit of your time, just a little bit of your essence, you know what they're going to say?
She got your ass.
And that's it. So, family, I'd like to give you all your flowers. I'd like to thank you all for being here. All those who donated, whether Super Chat, Cash App, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for your contributions. All my members, thank you for being members and thank you for being here. All my mods and everybody in the chat and everybody who's not in the chat. Everybody in the replay gang, thank you. Much love to you for being here. I want to say this and I'll end here. If you don't think we have any power, look at the way people react to our power. And with that being said, family, the doors of the church are now closed. Peace, fam.
My grandfather built this country, man. He fought wars for it. And most places he went wouldn't let him sit down and get a cup of coffee. I can't even catch a cab in New York. You know, it doesn't matter how many degrees I get. All you people see is color. Your grandfather was an immigrant. You're American. My grandfather was born here, Duke. And you people still look at me as just another nigga.
I know that the government, whatever, can't stand us black people. He's doing everything in the world to make black man be extinct. But I'm going to tell you one thing. Us black people going to survive. So fuck everybody.